Hey guys, that was my tribute to Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball. I don't know if you saw, but Grand Valley State made the news, national news this week for taking down the little pendulum that we had here on campus. So that's my little tribute. Let's get into some of the week 3 power rankings, projections, trade chatter, and all that stuff. Not a ton has changed from last week. Probably not enough has changed, to be honest. Yeah, and remember everything that I talk about in here, is based completely on optimal lineups, Yahoo projections. Doesn't really have anything to do with what happened in the past, and we'll see how that affects this right away. Because still, number one in the power rankings is me. Projected 1889 the rest of the way. Um, yeah, I don't really know what else to say other than Yahoo loves my teams, and that's probably because I love Yahoo so much. I'm sure there is, a relationship there. I did make a big trade this week. I'd say big kind of sarcastically, but I actually have a tight end that's playing, which is good. Should help me out for the future. Mike's still number 2. Still the worst set of running backs, still the best set of wide receivers. No deal has been agreed upon yet. He's been in contact with me, Doug, and now Scott. Was not able to finalize a deal with either Doug or myself. Good luck to you, Mike, for trying to figure something out with Scott. Andy and Scott are tied at number 3. Andy got a big boost this week with the Trent Richardson deal because Andy already rostered Willis McGahee. It looks like he's going to be starting in Cleveland, so good for you, Durs. And already mentioned Scott. Oh, they're both projected to 1872 the rest of the way, so the top 4 of us are all really, really close, between 1889 and 1872, so no real differences there. I did mention that Scott was in trade talks with Mike. Obviously, Scott needs some wide receiver help, so maybe Scott and Mike can get something figured out. Number 5. I need to apologize a little bit to Jason. I mocked him a little bit last week for saying, "Oh, I don't see Jason's name up here with the rest of us in D1." He is up to number 5, up 2 spots. The largest jump of the week, along with one other person, I believe. What he gained in that trade, if you guys can't figure out why he would trade an actual starting tight end for 2 guys that aren't projected any points for the rest of the year, well, he gets Pitta for next year for $1, which could be great value. And he actually now has the ability to drop someone because he's now at 18 total players as opposed to 17, the bare minimum. So Dustin dropped 1 spot from 5 to 6, projected 1783. Not a ton changed with this team. Doug is the other person that jumped up 2 spots. He jumped up from 9 to 7. He's projected 1776 the rest of the way, and he still needs wide receiver help. Jared holding steady at number 8, 1728 the rest of the way. Derek Mostrom is up 1 spot. The Dereks aren't in the bottom 3 anymore, at least not all of them. Projected 1724. Mike S. took the biggest drop of the week. He's down 4 spots in the power rankings, dropped from 6 to 10. And a lot of that can be attributed to Steven Jackson's injury. Mike doesn't have any depth really behind Arian Foster, so if Jackson is out a couple weeks, that could destroy Mike's team, at least for the next little bit. Derek L. We get to the other spot where, Yahoo doesn't take into consideration past performance. He did move up from 12 to 11, but Yahoo continues to hate his team. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't put up 500 yards and 4 touchdowns every week, he might struggle to win. But he's 2-0. I'm only 1-1, so I can't really say anything. That's why I can't stress enough. This is all just based completely on Yahoo projections. And Yahoo projections, they don't like Derek's team. And they really don't like Derek N's team. Down 1 spot from 11 to 12. So Derek L and Derek N flip-flopped. The good news is, New Berta, nowhere to go but up. Quickly, the week 3 lines. Jason is the biggest favorite, minus 160 over injury-depleted Mike S, plus 130. Andy is a minus 145 favorite over Doug at plus 115. Dustin is a minus 125 favorite over Jared at plus 100. Derek Mostrom is a minus 115 versus Scott minus 105. And then in the Kia Sorrento matchup of the week, and that is a sarcastic matchup of the week, I'm going to give this to the matchup that has projected the combined fewest amount of points. Well, we've got the two Derricks that share my division. So it's kind of sad that I'm not leading this division right now, to be honest. But Derek N is a minus 115 favorite over Derek L. So even though Derek L is 2-0, still not even favored over probably the worst team in the league. And then finally, we got the best matchup in terms of projected points, the total amount of points, and that's Mike Mostrom against myself. And Mike, you are actually a minus 115 favorite over me. I'm only minus 105. Moving on to the division favorites. I'm still the favorite in the East, even though I'm a game behind. But it's a lot closer this week than it was last week. I'm minus 105, Derek L plus 110, Derek Newberta plus 1375. The North, Andy running away with the division, minus 300, Doug plus 320, Jared plus 2100. The West, Mike is the most favoritist out of all of the divisions. He's at minus 335. Scott's plus 400, and Derek is plus 1375. And in the South, we have a new favorite this week. Jason is now the favorite at minus 105. Mike S is plus 240, and Dustin is plus 270. Not a ton to talk about as far as trades are concerned. Myself, Mike, Doug, and Scott have all updated our trade block. Same as last week. I'm still only receiving information from basically Mike is the only one that I got new information from, but Doug continues to keep me up to speed on his deals. And as stated earlier, Mike needs running back help, Doug needs wide receiver help, Scott needs wide receiver help. And those are the guys that have the biggest needs but also have stuff to trade as well. I guess I could also throw myself in there for needing quarterback and tight end help, but again, I'm not going to give up a starting running back or wide receiver to help out with those. For this week's Who Says No to this trade, and again, this ignores contract stipulations. Obviously, that does need to be taken into consideration if any trades were to go down. But from a pure talent standpoint, who says no to this trade? And I'm going a little bit bigger this week than last week. Dustin sending Victor Cruz to Doug in exchange for Alfred Morris. They help each other out. Doug needs a wide receiver. Dustin could use a running back. I think it works out nice for both teams. Yeah, I will continue to keep you guys updated. As always, if you have any trade information for me, please send it over. Please give me something to talk about so that I can make the video a little bit longer next week again. But until then, peace.